Hi, all my Wonky Stitchers. Today we're going to be starting a new project, and this is the Big Fabric and Lace Journal. I'm going to be making mine with neutral colours, but you feel free, do yours exactly how you want if you're following along. You can even make a Christmas one. I will be doing a little bit of Christmas, but not in this book. Okay, just for those of you who wanted to know if I was doing any Christmas projects, we'll probably do something. I mean, it's still November, so December maybe we'll do some Christmas. But today we're starting the journal, and I'm so excited to show you what I'm going to be using. Oh, and yes, I have put a list, for those of you who wanted one, of the supplies that you might need. It's not exhaustive and it's not a must-have, but it's just something to get you started. So that's free to download over in my Ko-fi shop, and the link's down there in the description. So go and have a little nosy and see what you think. I am going to turn the camera around now, and we're going to go through what I've collected together. Okay, I've got a wide angle on my phone for a minute because I just want to show you all the things that I've collected together, which has been super fun anyway. So the first thing you're going to need is something to back your pages and all your stuff onto. And I'm using this very thin cotton sheet. I've been using it to make a lot of books. Look, this is all that's left out of a single sheet. So anything, keep it thin because we're going to be putting two together. So that's what I'm going to be using. I've also gathered together some fabrics. I've got just a bunch of neutral colours fabrics like this. And I've also grabbed some doilies, net, bit of lace from some clothes. And this is another top that I've found. And then I've got my scraps, plus my absolutely gorgeous bits from Dawn, which I am going to be putting in. Yes, I am using the good stuff. These are all just scraps and pieces, so you'll need those. You may also want buttons, beads, any sort of embellishments that you want to put in. Just gather a few up. These are just ones I have on my desk anyway. And my last thing is some elements to stitch on. Now this one I've printed off, but these are just, oh, that one, those I've printed as well. I've done a sort of page of printed things, which I'll leave for you to download as well if you do want it. And I've managed to print mine onto fabric once. I can't do it again. My printer's just going, but I've used my stamps and just stamped images onto fabric that I can then stitch into my book. So if you've got some of your favourite stamps, these are my favourites with these ladies. I just love them. So I'm putting some of them in. I may or may not use these, but I've got them out just in case. So the first thing we want to do is cut our pages. So decide how big you want your book to be. And I'm going to make a big one. You can make a tiny, tiny one. You can make bigger. It's completely up to you. I've got a lot of neutral fabrics. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to use some up. Now, this is the base. I am expecting the journal to get very chunky and bigger than this because I'm going to have bits coming out the edges and it's going to have tags, so it's going to bulk up. But this is just the start. And let me just measure that so you know. Not that you have to do it the same size, but there you go. 27 centimetres, 10.5 inches by 28 inches. So in principle, what we're going to do is we're going to take each page, we're going to stitch on it, and then we are going to put them together so that we hide all our stitching, which will make us 4 pages in our journal. I hope that makes sense. I think we should just get stitching. So let's just get one of our pages. So we're only doing one side because we're going to back them to make pockets, or just back two together. So I've got some doilies out, and I've just got some of my pieces. Play around with our placement. I really should have ironed that. Remembering not to put too much in the centre. So look at these. Getting a bit screwed up now in my basket, because I've added some more that I found. I love this. This is a big piece of upholstery fabric I've got, and I'm just going to cut some of these words out that I've got, or I could cut a panel, but I'm thinking it'd be quite cool to have these words on, whatever they say. I don't know. It's what do you call it? Latin, probably, I would imagine. So we'll just put a bit of Latin in. Let's have a bit of culture. Right, I'll just move that big piece out of the way. Maybe we'll put this at the top. I don't know about this piece yet. It's getting more and more straggly. Oh, let's place it that way, and then we've got a nice, pretty edge. I've got a bit of blue because I'm having a bit of blue in mine. So just cut yourself little pieces of your fabrics. I've got a seam. I think I'll cut the seam off. And the idea is just to play with the composition and get your pieces sort of on your fabric in a, what you might call a pleasing way. I mean, I've had this for ages, and I've used it and used it and used it. So I'm going to put a big piece of this down there. Cut across the bottom. There we go. Got some more bits now. I have this, which is, I'm going to put, I think, over the top of there, because that looks really cool. Just like that. And I've just got little bits now in the corners, so I'll need some more. So just whatever you've got. You've made your what you call it? You've made your supply, got it all in one place, and that should help keep your your whole journal cohesive, because you're using the same elements. Put that one underneath because I like that. And I picked up this because it's just, look at, it's so pretty. So I thought we might have that here in that corner. And I do have my pinking shears, so I might cut this one with the pinking shears like this. Probably not a good idea to cut it on top of my piece, but you know, fingers crossed I don't cut anything else underneath. It's just all turning pretty. Might have that over the top. That's nice. Put you back a bit. There we go. And that is sort of the basis of your page. Now you can add on top. So I've got these little doilies, which I'm going to just cut off these little odd bits, because obviously this was something and I've cut it up at some point. Probably a top. I do find a lot of these crochet tops in the charity shops, and I like to use them because nobody's going to wear them. Well, I won't wear one. So, and just sort of play around. I've got a big doily here. I don't know whether to put this whole doily on, or I've got bits. Let me just get rid of that. Or we could have half of it. How about we put this over here, and we put this sort of down here like that. That would look really nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I know. It's quite painful using your good stuff, but you know, it's going to be a beautiful book, and we will use all of the doily. It'll turn up somewhere else on another page, I promise. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to stitch them down. I'm going to baste them. I've got some yellow here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to baste all the pieces so that I... Thanks for undoing. That's lovely of you. I've got some more. I've got a whole supply of these now. I've got them off Amazon. Really good ones. Right. We'll re-thread our needle. We'll just baste these down. Let's just get this one down and bring you back because you've moved as well. Everything's moved. I don't mind if it's over the edge. I quite like them coming over the edge. Very quickly baste. I'll come back in a minute. And I'll take these basting stitches out. Obviously I don't want yellow, but I thought I'll do them like this and then you can see sort of how big I make them. Okay, so I'll finish basting it down, and as you can see I haven't got this on yet, but what I'm doing is I'm just going to stitch it on like this, and just grab some cotton and stitch, and you can then decorate with stitches. So any way you like. I'm just going to go over the edges of this like that. Yes, it's a different colour. Doesn't matter. I'm really not worried. I'm just going to stitch in blue anyway on a lot of my pages. I'm just introducing the blue onto this page. And just however you want to do yours, you can stitch all that down properly. You could do running stitches all across or up and down, or decorative stitches here and across and down, and any way you want to do it. But just have fun, guys. Just have fun with it. Add all your pieces. I mean, I might go round that again and add more blue so it sort of stands out as a blue pattern. Who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm just going to let my intuition guide me and stitch, just stitch on it. Like this one here. I think I fancy just doing some random little, what do you call them? Seed stitches. So seed stitching, just come up, make a little stitch and move along a bit. Oh, too long. There we go. Pull that bit. And just vary your stitches, just where your lengths and your positions and which way you go. And it will look really pretty. And it holds the fabric down. I'm going through a few layers here, I think. You see? Very pretty. I like seed stitches. They're very fiddly, but you know, we've got time. there's no rushing around with this one. Let me turn it round. I'm going to go the other way. Me and my only can stitch one way. And you can put them as close together or as far apart as you like. They do look nice close together. I'll just say that. Oh, this very tough getting through 3 strands. I don't usually do 3 strands. I don't know why this is so thick. Ah! Oops. And it will get easier to turn the page round as you're stitching when they're all started to get stitched down. I mean, at least I'm not going to poke myself with needles, pins. That comes to there, so I can just go around here. And this is all I'm going to do. This is all you need to do. Just practice your stitches. Or we could practice some different ones, couldn't we? We might do that. Practice some different embroidery stitches. And I might do this all over the plain bit. And then I may do something inside there, or I may not. We will see what happens. There we go. And do another one there. There we go. So I'm going to carry on. As you can see, it's looking very pretty. That's all you have to do. Choose your colour scheme and stitch. So I spent a lovely time stitching little accents onto this page. I've popped my doily on, finished my seed stitching, just done some rows of straight stitching, a bit of stem stitch, and I've gone round this again and put this on. And I'm thinking now this page might go that way up because it looks like a bit like a flower. So this is a sort of thing that we're going to do, and I'm just going to do a couple more with you. I'm going to show you one I've already started, and then we're going to carry on. So basically, I'm just getting all my scraps. Obviously, I'm going with a blue theme as well, and I know I couldn't resist. So just get your pieces and stitch them down. Now, yes, mine is a bit bobbly because I've been sitting doing this on my lap in front of the TV, and I've got some sort of bobbles. But once I've added some embellishments, you shouldn't notice them. So as you can see, I've sort of started making some stitch patterns onto my pages, and you can do as much or as little as you like. You can just add embellishments like this one. I could just put this on maybe here and just layer up. I've got this piece which I've used already on another page. I'll show you that one in a second. And you can just add little trims. Time to do a little bit more. I've just come back from work and I want to do a little bit of stitching just to unwind, you know, de-stress a bit. Not that my job is that stressful yet because everybody's being really nice and not bombarding me with things. And the lady that I'm taking over from is still there helping me. So it's all good at the moment. There's just such a lot to learn. So I'm a bit buzzy. So excuse me if I'm a bit crazy than normal. So what I want to do is I want to add a pocket onto this one because I love that pattern, but I just want to put something else over the top. And I'm thinking that... Is that the right way up? Oh, no, that's the right way up. So I need to cut this one off because it's too big. What you've got to remember when you're decorating your book and putting pockets and things in is that this is the centre. Okay? You don't want to put too much in that middle bit because That's where you're going to be sewing your signature into your book. Okay, but this is just a piece of net curtain, which I've used before quite a few times. And I'm thinking, because it's a bit fragile on that edge that isn't even straight, I'm going to make straight like that ish, is that I'm going to add this to it before I sew it on. So let's just quickly measure how much I need, because I think that it's going to be a bit flimsy to be getting things in and out of. So if I add, which way up? Oh, I don't know. Can you ever tell what way up lace goes? Let's just add this on somehow. I'm hoping that this is going to work, because I'm sewing sort of lace to lace. May not work very well. We'll see. What we'll do is we'll go down once. We may have to come back up again just to make sure, but that's fine. We're making a big book and there's no rush. We're just plodding along. These pages are going to take the longest, I think. And I'm going to leave it up to you to decorate them however you want. I'll come on and show you how I'm getting on with mine as I'm doing them. Now you could have used ribbon or sari silk or anything on this edge, some seam binding, whatever you've got. Just go with whatever you feel like stitching. You might think, no, I'm not going to do lace. I'm just going to do fabric. That's ow. That's ow. That's just completely up to you. It's your book. I love a bit of lace, so I am mixing mine up, obviously, as you can see. And I think I'm going to put fabric down first and then decorate it up with the lace. So I've sewn that on and it seems to be on okay. And all I'm going to do now is put this on, leaving myself the middle. The middle will be here. So I can move it over a little bit. And then with my cotton still attached, or my thread, cotton actually, it is cotton today. Makes a change for me to know what I'm doing. I'll turn it round so you can see. And I'm just going to stitch little stitches. We may have to do over the top stitches in a minute, because I don't think I'm going to get that in. We can do this. We can just loop over the stitch, like over the fabric. If you do that, then they're not going to come off like that. I'll zoom in. That's a reminder to me to zoom in. Let's do that stitch. An over stitch. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Just trying to keep it relatively straight. And we'll just go around the 3 sides to close it up. I just think this is going to be such an awesome book when we finish. It's going to be full. It's going to be chunky and full. And I can't wait to start adding all the embellishments and the stitching. We're not going to rush it. We're not going to sort of, you know, oh, quick, got to get this done, got to get this done. That's not the aim of this one. This is just to totally relax and just stitch for the pure fun of it. And while we're making something, you might be making this as a gift for somebody. Just remember, you can do it in their favourite colours, in their favourite style. It doesn't have to be shabby, it doesn't have to have all these light colours. You could do a boho one. You choose. Right, this is the tricky bit now. This is where I always end up with bubbles. So we're going to come up here somewhere like that. And we're going to carry on trying to catch all these edges. Oops. Come on. You haven't got a lot to catch on, so just try and get over, sort of do an over stitch to hold it down. You'll be fine. Right, I think I'm going to stop and get some more cotton on my needle. And I'm going to leave mine all shabby. And this bit I can go straight across this. So it's a nice bit to stitch in. I mean, you can make your pockets out of fabric if you want to. You can pre-make them. You might have some already made. I don't think I have. I might have a look. I might have some already made. Probably not going to be in a right colour, because I am going to stick to sort of blues. So, right, let's just go through, tie that off. And there we go. We've got our first pocket. Easy as that. So on this side, I'm thinking of doing some embroidery stitches, and might do a few more of these down here in the blue. Just because, no reason. You just decide what you want to do and do it.